right, guys. There we go. All right, with Sharks alumni Tom Pederson. Great to meet you. Great to see you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Just as maybe put out the mic a little bit more. Yeah. Great moment we just saw here. You've been through a ton of great moments, not in just this building, but back at the old Cow Palace days. Yes, those were a little stranger, a little older times, but I mean, there was always unique with the Sharks first coming into the NHL.
Yeah.
You were part of that.
Yeah, the Cow Palace, it wasn't the greatest building, but it was a historic building, and we knew we were only playing there for a couple of years while they were building this, and then we came down here and ended up, making some real noise that first year when we beat Detroit in the first round of the playoffs and kind of kick-started this whole thing here in San Jose.
And just coming from where you guys were that year before, 11-71-2, you turn it around, and I still, to my head, Garpenlov gets that bar shot to go in and goes in. But for you to experience the lowest of lows to the highest of heights for this franchise, which really put the foundation of the passion and the fan base here, that's got to make you feel real special, even now that it's been a few years gone by.
Yeah, I mean it was awesome. We had a goalie named Artur Zerbe that had a lot to do with it, and then we had the Russian line, Larionov, Makarov, and Garpenlov. So a lot of things came together for that year to happen, and it was awesome to see. And like I said, it kind of kick-started this whole thing, and then then they went to the Cup in 17, and then we've had a few lean years. There's no doubt about that. But what I saw last year with these young guys, and then the young man we just drafted, and we got another pick at 30 coming up here. So brighter days are on the way for the Sharks, no doubt.
Definitely. You could see how there's that turnaround that you guys had, and how they're building with the numerous players now with Meeson celebrating and such. I almost get that feeling that we're right on the cusp of having that 94 magic reappear here. It may not happen this coming season or afterwards, but what do you think of it? Is it something that, because it's a I've seen, you talk about the offline and Urbe, but you were part of a whole team that just came together and did something magical. And it seemed like it wasn't out of nowhere, but it was something incredible.
It was out of nowhere, really. I bring up Artur Zerbe only because I'll tell you what, he was so good, and he changed the game, and he won so many games for us that year. I can't tell you how many times I slid back into the net after making an error and sliding back trying to recover and wiping everybody out, and he'd have the puck stopped, and I'd say, "Sorry, Artie, that was my guy." He goes, "Don't worry, Tommy." He was that good. And at that time, that last half of the year, after the first of the year, he just took over. And then it gives all the team so much more confidence when you got a goalie that's playing that well. And so goaltending to me is the most important position on a hockey team. I'll just go to my grave with that one.
So obviously this is completely different from when you were drafted with Minnesota, way back when. What was the process like? Obviously we didn't have social media back then, but there wasn't any rampant speculation of where you're going to be going or whoever was going to be going where at the time. Take us back to that. What was that like?
It was when the Sharks in Minnesota, they did a dispersal draft, and so they took all the Minnesota draft picks, which I was a late Minnesota draft pick, and they basically just went, okay, we'll take that. That's almost like you're playing a football game, in your backyard. Okay, I got this guy, you got that guy. You go back and forth until there's no players left, and then you got the last one. Like, okay, I'll take Pederson. I guess I'll take Tom.
Oh,
and that was, but that was all I wanted, was an opportunity to play.
Right.
And I knew that coming to San Jose that I was going to get an opportunity first, because an expansion team, let's be honest, they're going to struggle.
Right.
And so when the team's not winning, they're going to try a lot of different combinations, and I got a chance, and I feel like I was ready for my moment, and I had my 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, but you stretch that to that from '93 to '96 with this team, and you're back here in the Bay Area. Obviously you fell in love with the area, just like many of alumni have in the past.
Yeah, the Northern California is beautiful. If you can afford it, and Obviously that cost of living is what everyone talks about here. So that part's rough, but
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that. But just cope.
Yes. And you are the creator of the Green Biscuit?
I do have the Green Biscuit, so it's an off-ice stick handling and passing puck for kids to work on their skills on asphalt and concrete. Slide just like a puck on the ice. There's nothing else like it. It's slick.
Yeah.
And it's a great training aid for these kids to play with.
I'll tell you, when I was growing up, when you guys inspired me, I should say, because I had a knee injury where I was partially torn. They said, skate on it, work out on it. They said, hey, hockey's a way to go. When I would stick handle with a ball or just like a regular roller hockey puck at the time, it was tough, especially on
flip over. And
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. I mean,
that's what the Green Biscuit makes it special. It doesn't flip over. It's designed so it stays flat on a rough surface, and then you get to spend your time working on the skills, not trying to get it to lay down.
Right.
And so that's kind of what sets it apart.
Gotcha. Any special funny moment we can mention from your time in San Jose?
Well, we were talking. Well, my time in San Jose. Well, that was a long time ago, but we were talking before about the most exciting sporting event I've ever been to, and that was when we came back and beat Vegas in Game 7 here at the Tank. And I was watching up in the Sharks in the players' suite, and we had the 49ers in there, and it was bedlam. And so that was the most exciting sporting event I've ever been to. And thank God we ended up winning. Barclay Goodrow scored the winner in overtime, and what a year that was.
Oh my gosh! And you're being carried by linemen.
Yeah, they had me Staley and how do you say his name?
McGlinchey.
McGlinchey. They had me up, spinning me around. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
You're like, oh, this is great. Okay, guys, let's bring it down. Let's not get crazy here. Oh boy. All right. Well, we'll let you do your thing. I know you're busy.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Plenty of memories from you and your team on the run, and look to seeing you in the Tank a lot more.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.